Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I haven't been online in a minute because I don't know if you guys know this, but I was recently moving from Washington State, and now I am on the other side of the world, and I am in South Carolina. So we go from coast to coast to coast to coast. Well, welcome to the military, right? So anyway, I haven't really had my craft room up to par or really manageable at all. I actually thought that when we moved here, we were going to move into a larger space for my crafting because I got my own office, which was really, really cool. But in Washington, what I did was I kind of like took half my living room. So I didn't realize how much of a space I really actually had in Washington, but it's different. It's not necessarily smaller. It's different. So it took me a long time to try to like, get everything back the way that I could function in the room. So while I was sitting here organizing everything, I'm not sure how many of you actually realize how much stuff you obtain when you do swaps and giveaways and just shares and such. So yeah, I realized I have a crap ton of stuff. And I don't mean just like stuff that I've bought. I mean stuff that I have obtained in swaps, because I did like pocket letter swaps, envelope swaps, bag swaps, cards, tags, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So what the heck do you do with all that stuff after you obtain it? Because I mean, you don't really want to throw it away because I mean, it's really pretty and people are sending you stuff. Like I have this basket over here where I'm just going to grab a couple things out of here because this basket is huge. But like I have a bunch of like sample stuff, right? And so when I was organizing my room, that's what I did. I got this basket and I just started putting everything that I had gotten from swaps or pieces of stuff that's like opened. I had just set in that basket. I just kept putting stuff in that basket. And now it's really full, like really, really full. So I was like, okay, now what the heck do I do with all this stuff? Because it's like, it's pieces of stuff. It's not, it's not a paper pad or a packet of stickers that goes with a paper pad. It's just, it's all random stuff. So what I started doing is I put this basket together and I just started putting everything in there. And I put my scrap papers and any kind of papers that I've had for many, many years that I haven't really used because I had no idea that I even owned them. Like how many times have you bought a pack of paper that was like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. This would make for a really good project one day. And that one day just never comes. So I decided that I was going to start using my scraps, using this old stuff that I had hidden away in a closet that I never knew about, using all of the, you know, the gifts that you guys have sent me. I just didn't know how. So I started watching, what's her name? Amber, Lyric Lover here on YouTube, and she does craft fairs. So it's not what I typically do. I do a lot of like journals and scrapbooks and pocket letters and stuff like that. But as I started watching her, I just fell in love with the concept of what she's doing. And we're here in Charleston, South Carolina. This area is ginormous for the crafting community. Like there are craft fairs at least 4 times a year. Like they're insane. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first year and I'm going to build a stash of stuff that I'm going to be able to sell at a craft fair. And then I'm going to sign up for my first craft fair the following spring. So there's one really, really big craft fair here and it's in the springtime. I just want to make sure I'm still recording. I am. Okay. And it's because I have my phone flipped upside down for whatever reason, so I can't just look up and see it. I have to like look on top of this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we have a really big craft fair in the springtime. So what I'm going to do is instead of signing up this year, I'm just going to build my stash over the next year. And how am I going to build that stash? I am going to use all of these little sample things that you guys have sent me, all the cute little things and pieces and stickers and papers and knickknacks and all that hoopla and all the stuff that I've had forever that I didn't even realize I had, didn't remember that I had. I'm gonna use all that. And so I'm sitting here, as you can see, like there's some stuff that's already cut and whatnot. I'm sitting here, you know, making this. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't recorded in quite a minute, so let me do this real quick. And of course, this is not a quick video. When are any of my videos ever quick? Because I like to talk. That's a shocker. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I've done, and then we're going to go through and I'm going to show you how to make some of these things. We're only going to do cards, like as for the tutorial. If you're interested in any of the tutorials that I'm about to show you, please let me know in the description box, and I will be glad to make you a tutorial on how to do it. Now, I will say that a lot of the inspiration for these items did come from Lyric Lover, because she does a lot of altering. For instance, she will alter composition notebooks. She will alter like the sticky pads that you get from the Dollar Tree and stuff like that. So I didn't do any of that, but I did get the inspiration from her to create what I did create. So we'll start with the smallest of things first. And I say smallest, but it's the largest stack of stuff. So this is how I have them packaged right now. I don't even know what's in frame right now because everything, like my phone, like I said, is flipped upside down. So I will flip through these and show you. So the most simplest of things that I started with were these cards. I actually didn't start with the cards, but we're going to start with the cards because they are the simplest of things to make. I really hope there's not a glare. I can't see if there's a glare, and I'm way off camera because my phone is over here. All right, so basically I had some scrap paper, which is this stuff back here, and this was the paper that I was just like, okay, I've never used. And come to find out, it was actually sticker paper, which was really strange. I'm like, how long have I really had these? Oh, and these, I did do a little bit of decorating on the backs with the envelopes. Not a whole lot because I wanted the focal point to be the cards. But some of them I did a little tiny bit, and some of them I did a lot of it. Like this one, I did a lot of it. Let's see. Some dragonflies. This was an open pack of the Kaiser Craft die cuts that I had. Let me see if I can move this down. I'm so used to going so forward, but my camera setup is a little bit different here. So I'm actually down here now, which is kind of cool. I just got to get used to it. My allergies are a little bit different here, so if I sniffle a couple times, my apologies. It's birds. So this sticker paper was actually kind of cool. There was, who is this by? Creative Memories. It was a company. So when we lived in Hawaii, this was over 10 years ago, mind you. When we lived in Hawaii, I had signed up to be a representative for this company called Creative Memories, which in and of itself is really cool. But they don't tell you when you sign up, that stuff is massively expensive and you can get stuff so much cheaper elsewhere. They conveniently forget to tell you that part. I think it's not so convenient, actually. But it is really nice stuff, I will say. And then, so this next part is some, I do have one that is out of the package. I will show you guys, but it is super simple, and it's basically, it's just a notebook. And these were extra pieces of paper that I had printed on cardstock, and I didn't use what I printed. This was way back when I decided that, oh, I can print digital papers, yay! So I printed a crap ton of them for whatever reason, and I never used all of them. So there's those. This is another printed, and I have no idea where I printed these from because I printed them so long ago. This is another printed, more printed. I really like this one. More printed. another printed. Okay, and then this was killing off the last of a paper pad, because I didn't really know what I was going to do with the paper pad, because I had bought it for a specific purpose. I used it for that specific purpose, and then I had a bunch of paper left, and I was like, And that was this one here, the Graphic 45. Mon Amour collection. Mon Amour collection. It's a French Valentine's-y sweethearty collection. Anyway, so basically the only pieces that are left with this are like the cut aparts. This is another pad that I, again, had bought for a specific purpose, and I had a few pieces left, and I had no idea what to do with those few pieces. And we'll go over that in a second. So this is what's left from that collection. These papers are double-sided, but you can't see the inside of them. I do have one that you can see. Like I said, I had gotten a couple, and I had left them out. But these will be little goodies that I can sell at my craft fair that I do my first craft fair next spring. Hopefully I will still have the courage to do it. Like, I'm making all this stuff to participate in the craft fair, but I just have to like get up the courage to actually do it. So this is what I just showed you guys basically. And these I had kept out for two reasons. One, I don't package anything that I don't feel like if I wouldn't buy it, like if I wouldn't spend money on it, I'm not going to package it and sell it to someone else, if that makes sense. So with this one, when I was ripping out the paper from the pad, there is actually a little tear right here, but I did go ahead and create the item just so I could keep it out of the package and show you guys. And besides, I can use these because, well, they're really cute. Anyway, they're just notepads, but instead of buying the notepads, I made it. And all I did was I took the, what's it called? Copy paper, cut it down to size, folded it, and voila. Folded it in half, stapled it, and put a little folder thing right here. And then this one was the very first one that I created, and I used tacky glue. And I very quickly found out that that is not gonna fly because it warped the paper really bad. So this one also I kept out because, again, if it's not, I don't even know if it's in frame anymore. Like, I'm trying to keep this stuff in frame. I'm just gonna stand up. That's what I'm gonna do. So this is like really badly warped right here. And like I said, I'm not gonna sell something that I wouldn't personally want to buy. And, you know, I don't know. So anyway, I cut those out. And that's what I just showed you guys, was those little cute little notebooks. And all I did was I have this ridiculous container of paper clips. Like, I got this at Staples like 1,000 years ago, and I make so many embellishments, and I still have not gone through this, which is nuts. Anyway, so that's that. And one of the next things I'm going to show you, same thing but smaller version, is these guys here. I thought these were really cute. I had a lot of fun with these. These are, again, some of the Creative Memories paper, because they come in like this pack of just random colors. Like all of this was in one pack. All these colors was in one pack. So it's like you get a whole bunch of random colors, but what the heck do you do with them, right? So, and then I had a couple pieces that were just like random small scraps or whatever. So, like I said, these are the same concept as these guys here. They're just on a smaller scale. So I still cut the copy paper, I still stapled it, I just put it in a smaller scale, and I put a little embellishment on top. So these will probably sell for the same price as the other ones just because they're smaller, but they have the embellishment to make them cute and pretty. So all of these embellishments actually came from that basket of stuff that I was like, hey, what do I do with all this stuff that I've got? Like this sticker here, sticker there, you know, all the stuff that people have sent me in pocket letters and whatnot. That's what this is. So there's a fox here, cute little kitty here, and I love these. These were all of this stuff was gifts. I don't think this one was. I think this was a me playing with stamps to try to see if I could, you know, do whatever. Maybe it was a gift. I don't remember. But most all of these were gifts. So, and then I just put them all in these cute little bags. Because I have the bags anyway, because I do a lot of swaps and whatnot, and it just makes things really cute and neat and professional. So I have a lot of these bags anyway, and I actually get my bags, I normally order them like once, and I haven't ordered them again. If I need a specific size, I will order that size, and then I won't have to order it again for quite a long time. Like, I have a nice variety of sizes. But anyway, I get my bags from Paper Mart because they have a huge selection, and they're cheaper than a lot of places that I've seen. Like, they're even cheaper than Amazon, like, if that tells you anything. Now, they're cheaper by quantity. And what that means is if you buy... you have the option to buy like 10 on Amazon, but for the same 10 at Paper Mart, you can buy 50 for the unit price is smaller. I don't know how to explain that. Anyway, yeah, I would make a terrible like coupon instructor because I'm just like, I don't know, it's just cheaper. So anyway, the last thing that I made were these things. And I might actually take one out of the bag just because they're really freaking cool. So this was some of the paper that was left from those two pads. Like, that's all I've messed with was those scraps from Creative Memories or these two paper pads. And this one is completely empty. Like, there's nothing left of this. And this is the Bo Bunny, the Madeline collection. And I had bought this at Tuesday morning for $7. I had bought this to create a journal, and I had a lot of pieces left over because, well, even when I create a journal, I don't use like the entire every piece of scrap, you know, known to man. So I had some pieces left over and I didn't know what to do with. Same thing with this one. This is the Monomore Graphic 45. Like, I have this giant, I have no idea what to do with that. That's still sitting there. And then I have the cut aparts here. And you get 3 of each page. So, yeah. I have a lot of cut aparts. And I think what I'm going to do with these is the same thing that I just did with these cards. And I'm going to show you that. That will be the, hey, this is what we're going to do together today. So these are the last things that I have like pre-made, pre-packaged, and this is the same concept as the other ones. They're just, again, a little bit more in depth, a little bit more details to them, a little bit more elaborate. So this one is scraps, not scraps, but this is like leftover, again, printer stuff. Oh, it's upside down. That I had done. I think this is one that I had, yeah, because I accidentally stapled them, and one like this goes this way, but if you look at, where'd it go? Where'd you go? There's one, I thought, but I had it facing the wrong direction, and that's why I chose to keep this one out. Yeah, that one right there. So this one's upside down, and this one's not. So I have them going both directions, which kind of stinks because, well, I can't package it. But it's okay because, again, I will use these. So basically I did the same thing that I did with the copy paper. I just cut it down to size, folded it in half, stapled it in the center. And normally with a junk journal, you would actually bind it into the spine, but I was just using a piece of scrapbook paper, so I just stapled it to the back, and then I used this twine to cover the staples up. And then with these guys, I was actually playing with the cardstock here, and I figured out that I could use the whole sheet here and make a Velcro. So these are a mix of printed paper as well as the white copy paper, and it's just like a little mini junk journal. And so I thought those were pretty cute, and I made 7 of them, but one of them is right here, so only 6 of them got packaged. Yeah. All right, so there's this one, this one, this one. This one I did a little bit different because I realized when I cut it, the image that I wanted to keep on the front was on the back, and it was upside down. So basically all I did was I put the Velcro on this side, and you get, I'll show you, you actually get an extra little fold out with the journal on this one. It's kind of an extra bonus. Now I'll sell it at the same price as I sell the other ones, but I thought this one was cute because you still have the journal spots here, but now you have this cute little fold out here. I actually like the way, like, I don't know if you guys have realized this yet, but a lot of the creations that we create are from accidents. And whether that's in crafting or real life, like a lot of inventions have became inventions because of accidents. So I thought that was pretty neat. Anyway, so that's these, and that's that. And that's it as far as the stuff that I have already done and packaged up. Now, I'm going to reach across the camera here. This is the things that I have had, I'm going to sit back down. These are the things that I have had, or that I have used for what's left of the cards, or what's left of the paper. This is the only piece of paper that I have left from the Madeline collection, the Bo Bunny collection. This is the only one that I have left. I have 2 pieces of paper here, and I have, where'd you go? 3 little banner strips here, and then this 1 sheet of paper, and that's it. And this is what I've made so far, and this all came from the cut aparts, like those cards that I was showing you. I have them in the other pad. I just don't have any left in the Bo Bunny because, like I said, I've used it all. But these guys, the cut aparts, so I used all of those, and then, you know, whatever was left as far as the paper goes. And I got pretty creative with the design of the cards, and these will all have envelopes, and like this one here, I have a stack of envelopes right here. So I got really lucky, and I have a local thrift shop who is, they're military, or they're military operated. They're operated by like military wives and girlfriends and such. Anyway, they send a lot of cards overseas for care packages, but when you do that, you can't send the envelope. You have to send just the card. So then they have like a huge stash of envelopes. And so I actually ended up getting, this bag full of envelopes for free. And they were really funny though, because they were like, "What do you do with all these envelopes?" I was like, "Well, I can make cards, and I can use them for the envelopes instead of making my own, or I can use the envelopes to make journals or whatever." So anyway, these will all have their own envelopes. So let's go through the cards here. And I did use colored cardstock, obviously, to make the card itself, and I did implement some scraps from my little basket over there, and I will probably implement some more scraps from my little basket over there. And I did look at like sketches for cards because I've seen them lately, and I was like, well, what is it all about? And I did look at the sketches, but it is so hard to follow a sketch. I just end up putting my own spin on it, and it's like getting a recipe for food. Like you get the recipe for food for inspiration, and then you end up flipping the recipe inside and out and having something that's kind of sort of like the recipe, but not really. That's what I do. So I did try the sketches, but they lasted like a whole 5 minutes, and I was like, yep, nope, I'm just gonna do it this way. And so that's the cards that I have left. And then these are the ones that I've started. And then when I was doing these, I was just like, I haven't recorded in a minute. Let me record so I can get everybody up to speed on what the heck is going on in my life. So when I cut these from 8.5 by 11 pieces of cardstock. And I have this grid. I actually have 2 grid. I don't know if you can see this purple one. I think you can. Yeah, you can. Excuse me. Excuse me. So anyway, I have 2 grids, mats, and that actually makes these, like making cards, really, really easy, especially if you're going to like assembly line it and make multiple cards, because you can have like the same base like this on, you know, let's say 10 cards, and that's what I'm going to do here. And then you can change what's on top. And that's what I did here, is like I had the same type of bait. Like this was all one piece of paper, this was one piece of paper, and then this was one piece of paper. And actually this one, this is what's left of it. So I mean, you can use a little bit of paper, or you can use a lot of it. And then these were just the cut aparts that I just matted. But basically you just make the base card, and then from there you know, add your own, whatever it is you're adding to the cards to make them cards. So this came from an 8.5 by 11, and this is 9.5 inches long, and this is 6 3/4 inches tall. And what you're gonna do is when you cut it by 9.5, you're gonna fold it lengthwise together. I do not use a scoreboard for this. The reason I don't use a scoreboard for this is because when I do use a scoreboard, even if I mark it exactly at, you know, like 4 3/4, which is where it should be to be, you know, like right in that middle point, when I fold it over, I will end up with gaps, and it'll be off center. So basically all I did was I took my piece of paper and I put my hand in the middle, so I wasn't creasing it yet. Put the other one down like this, and I met corner to corner, and I made sure that it was lined up here. I put my finger here, and then I made sure it was lined up here, put my thumb here, and then I pressed down. And then I took my scoreboard, or not my scoreboard, but my bone folder, and I just went through and I creased it. So I folded all of them, and then I went through and I creased all of them. And now I have a bunch of card bases. So I ended up using, I think there's 12 here. No, there's a little bit more. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, there's 17 here, because there's 10 of the blue ones and 7 of these like cream colored ones, because they're not quite gray. But anyway, so I have a crap ton of like colored cardstock, and so that's one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and go with the cards, because I need to use the cards. Anyway, when you cut these, you're going to have a lot of little scraps like this. At first I was going to throw them away, and then I started looking at the sketches, and then I got some ideas, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep these because I can use them for things like this. And so that's what I'm going to do. Basically I just cut this down to 6 3, no, yeah, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, 6 3/4. And I cut 10 of them, although one of them is green, which I'm honestly perfectly fine with. I don't really care that it's green because it's still using the same colors that I'm using. I'm not using wet glue. Wet glue will warp your paper, so don't use it. If you really want to use wet glue, then I would suggest using Fabri-Tac because it's not going to warp your paper, but I'm not using Fabri-Tac because it's really expensive to use on a lot of cards like this. Excuse me. So I'm gonna put, this is where it comes in really handy. So basically I line this part up here. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna move up this way. Okay, so I thought maybe you can see this one down here. Hold on, let me see if I can adjust this. Just a smidge. There we go. All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so so basically you're gonna line this corner up down into a corner. It doesn't matter which corner, just a corner of your grid mat. Then you're going to take this and wherever you choose to lay it, whether it's right in the middle, if you want to do right in the middle, then do right in the middle. I actually chose to put it 3/4 of an inch up. So I'm going to put this right on the edge. I'm going to hold my finger there and I'm going to line this up on the other side, lay it down, smooth it out, next card. And so you're just going to keep doing that until you have all of your cards done. Once you have all your cards done, we're not going to go through all the cards. Once you have all your cards done, if you made a boo-boo in measurement, like moi, you can go through and you can cut the extra little piece off. Or you could wait until you're done with the card completely to do that. It doesn't really matter. But that happens in whenever you're measuring, because just don't freak out if, you know, you have a little bit of extra or whatnot, because you're only human, you're not a machine, you're gonna make mistakes, and honestly, the glory of doing crafting, it's handmade. So I like the flaws in things. Like we just bought a not a dining room, we bought a coffee table for our living room, and it was the floor model, and the lady was just like, well, this one's scratched and dinged up. Are you sure you want this one? I was like, that's why I want this one. So, I mean, I don't know. I like the scratches and dings and imperfections. So this is what I have left of this stuff. I do have that other piece. I just haven't messed with it yet. This is just what I have left from the scraps when I was cutting these guys over here. And so I have this one, and these. So what I'm going to do here is figure out how I want the orientation of this particular card to work. And I think I'm going to do this. Actually, I think I'm going to do this one. Because then I can go like this. And we have a card. Okay, just like so. And if you want to cover up the ends down here, you could put your card down there like that, and then leave the top blank. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But before I do that, I'm gonna mat this little guy here with a scrap of paper. Oh, look at that. So the dry glue that I'm using, or tape rather, is it's like an ATG, like the Scotch. It's like that one, but again, I got it from Paper Mart. Or no, I lied, not Paper Mart. I got that from the Tape Depot, and that's where I get the tape for my 1/4 inch runner. But I had gotten another runner because I didn't want to keep swapping out 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. So I just got another runner that is for my 1/2 inch. And now I have another little scrap there too. So we're done with that for now. We're going to take these guys. We're going to make sure that we get the corners here. And so what I do is I kind of run over. Oops. Right now I'm just making a mess. That's really bulky. There we go. Alright, and then if you do what I do and just make a mess of things, you can try over. All I did was peel the tape off because it was really messy and bulky, and it's just not going to fold right when it's like that. So you just take the ends and kind of fold them under, because this is adding enough bulk. You don't really want more bulk added to it, which is why I scraped it off and said we'll do it again. Okay, so decide which one you want on the bottom, and again line it up to the edge. Right over there. Line it up to the edge over here. Figure out how far up you want it, and I think I'm gonna go with 3/4 of an inch here. These are inch-long strips, so it's pretty easy to line up here and then line up here. And then again, you'll need to decide how far apart you want these two guys. This is probably the most tedious part of this whole process, is folding the tape over from the little flaps here, because I do want those little flaps to be taped so they're actually secured down. And I do want this staggered, so I'm going to move this up about 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to put it right on the edge here. Okay, now we're going to take this part and we're going to put this right here, and it's basically going to cover this, or we can put it up here a little bit, which I think that one looks, I think the down here looks a little better because there's a border right here, and matching that one border I think looks a little bit better. I don't know, but one thing I have noticed with these cards is don't second guess yourself. Just be like, okay, I want to put it here and be done with it. Because the more you second guess yourself, the longer you're going to sit there and try to make this card, and it's going to be more of a chore than a hobby. And we don't do these fun things for them to be chores, because let's be honest, we have enough chores in our lives. So there's your card, and you just basically, you keep going like that, and you just put whatever it is you want onto your card, and it can be anything. You can make cards pretty by just doing that. You can, you know, add whatever you want to it. You can add another cross section here, or you can add this cross section, and then put this up here, you know, or you could put it over here like that, or you could flip it like this and do it like that, and then put this one over here or over here, or like, you get my point. Like, there's so many things that you could do to make cards, and you're using your scraps. You're using little tiny pieces of paper like this. Like, this is a 1-inch strip of paper that I was cutting, and these are just the scraps from when I made the card itself. These measure 1.5 inches long, wide rather. They should be 9.5 long. Yeah, 9.5 long by 1.5 inches. So you can use anything and everything, and you know, you can even start throwing in, you know, the stuff that you've like made. Once you get your base card, like you can go through and say, okay, well, I want to add this lace because it's really pretty. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, yep, I am going to cut this a little bit big. And I'll put one strip across the bottom. I'm going to take this tape off. And there we go. And now I can cut this. Not necessarily with these scissors, because these scissors are not very good for fabric. These are the Tim Holtz scissors. They're great for paper, but not so much for fabric or lace. So now I have this base. Now I can either sit it like this or I can sit it like this, because there's nothing on it right now. There's no sort of orientation on it to say that it has to go this way or that way. So you can do a top flip card like this, or you can do your traditional side flip card like this. And, you know, look and see what else is in your stash. I've got some little tiny envelopes here. I have a bag here, you know. Gosh, there's anything that you could do. You make it super interesting and just, you know, put the bag itself on there. I don't know. I just don't know how to explain that there's just so much you can do with your scraps of stuff. All this stuff that people send you, the stuff that you get from swaps and Happy Mail and such like that. Because for a long time I was like, you know, this is great. All this stuff is really pretty. And I didn't realize how much I was collecting until I moved. And once I moved, then I was just like, holy crap, I have a lot of stuff that, you know, because I would do swaps, like, you know, 3 or 4 a week. And I would love actually to get back into the swaps because they're really fun and I do enjoy doing them a lot. And yeah, I would love to get back into those. But yeah, so this is what I've done to kind of use up my cards. And these could be for anything as far as Valentine's, and that's one reason I like these cards, because there's nothing on them. There's not like, it's not specific. This could be a birthday card, a thank you card, a get well soon card, a hey I miss you come back from deployment card, you know, whatever. So anyway, that's really it, and this is an extremely long video, but thank you guys for sticking it out to the end, and I will definitely try to get back with you guys about the tutorials for the little mini, itty bitty mini journals. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye!